Minicamp has come and gone. And like last week, how we did the winners and losers for OTAs, I thought it'd be perfect to talk about the winners and losers of Patriots mandatory minicamp. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports, presented by Prize Picks. I am your host, Brett Alper. And guys, now we're in the dead period. 6 weeks of no football. Ugh. But we're going to get you there. We're going to still have videos every single day. We're still going to be going live every single week and keeping you up to date with all your Patriots news and rumors. So make sure you hit that sub button. We're on our way to 50K subs. So go ahead, hit that sub button right now. Let's talk about the biggest winner out of all of mandatory minicamp, and that is our guy, A.J. Brown. And ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Brown has been an absolute dog. He's been the star of minicamp. From the second he stepped on the field at the Patriots facility, he has been perfect. He's been a leader. He has been a captain. I think he might be captain at this point. He looks like he is determined, and he is great on the field and also off the field. This comes in from Mark Daniels, and he said A.J. Brown had 2 touchdowns today on June 11th, the last day of mandatory minicamp. His first was awesome. He adjusted in the back left corner of the end zone, spun around, and hauled in a 5-yard touchdown. He ended practice with a touchdown on an out route. And then the day before, going from Mark Daniels, they had a walkthrough. They'll finish minicamp with a higher intensity, which they did on Wednesday. No QB stats, but they said Drake Maye made it a point to throw to A.J. Brown a lot, getting that chemistry going, getting it perfect. Because once we get to training camp, it's going to be ramped up, and I can't wait to see that joint practice between the Patriots and the Eagles. But I mentioned that he is being a leader on the field and being a mentor to some other players. And Todd Downing, the Patriots wide receivers coach, he made an emphasis on just how good A.J. Brown is on the field. He said his second practice, he had a drop on a go ball. And after practice, he wanted to do push-ups for the drop in front of the group. Everybody chose to do it together. So creating and augmenting that culture of mutual accountability has been awesome. And that's what you see from your star wide receiver. And Craig Woodson, he tried to defend A.J. Brown on that back shoulder throw that Drake Maye threw to him. Nice try. Nice try. Came up, highest point, grabbed it right there. It was awesome to see, and I can't wait to see it on the field, man. I can't wait to see it on the field. And if you want to celebrate like I am, get your A.J. Brown T-shirts today, ladies and gentlemen. We got them always open because he's always open in practice. Wait till the games. I'm predicting 1,600 yards for this guy. Get yours today, chatsports.com/Brown. It's an affordable price. It's a nice material. You can get yours today. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. So, going into a loser, and that's Gabe Jacas. And look, I'm still a big fan of Gabe Jacas. I still have high potential for him. I still hope he gets on the field and makes a great impact. But Jacas, nowhere to be found, man. He is absolutely nowhere to be found. He still is the only second-round pick to not sign his contract. All other players for teams that are in the second round, they have signed their contract. Gabe Jacas, no. And Mike Vrabel talked about it on Wednesday. If you guys haven't seen some of the videos that I've made, he was asked, well, where is Gabe Jacas? And they asked him about his absence. The question was, do you attribute his absence to last year where we saw a rise in second-round picks until they signed their contract? Do you attribute to that? And he said, I don't attribute to anything other than, he's not here, and that is he's not under contract at this current time. So I don't want to say that there's a reason for it other than that's what it is right now. He had a procedure. He's not under contract. And then he was asked, how much, if at all, have you had a chance to work with Gabe? And Vrabel said, not at all. We've talked, communicated, and met him numerous times before the draft process, but not on grass. And I've made a video on it. You guys can go watch it. That's why you subscribe to the channel. But I just hope this gets done by training camp. I hope he's on the field because he's going to be a pivotal part of this defense. That's why we drafted him in the second round. So I really hope this gets done because he's going to keep falling behind to a point where someone's going to have to step up because the edge rush room is probably the weakest part of the defense, and he provides a great sense of depth on that part of the team. So I hope it gets done, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll get to the more winners and losers in just a second, guys. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You know I use Prize Picks every single day. We got some soccer action later today, and you know I'm taking advantage of that because Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. We got Game 5 tomorrow for basketball against San Antonio, New York. Big golf tournaments also, baseball, and you know motorsports every Sunday. I love sports, love making daily fantasy lineups. You guys can follow me to see all my lineups at The Real Alper. And we got a lineup, excuse me, today. We got the lightning discount. Kristen Pulisic. Yeah, I'm going to say how that is. You got the more, and all he has to do is get more than 10.5 passes attempted. You can add that to your lineup and then pair it with a bunch of other players. And this time we're going all soccer. Brill Embolo. We're going with the more on shots on target. And then Allison Becker. I think that's how it's saved. The more on goalie saves. You win $150 with that lineup. You can make the same lineup just like me. All you got to do is just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. There's a new user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That'll be in the comments and description of today's video. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, keep it going with the winners. Drake Maye. He's an absolute winner. And I think helping that is because he has A.J. Brown right by his side. But compared to last year, when Drake Maye struggled in OTAs and minicamp, he threw multiple interceptions. This was completely night and day difference, and you could see the progression that Drake Maye has made. And he was absolutely lights out at camp. There was one practice where he had 14 straight completions, ladies and gentlemen. He was absolutely awesome. And you can see just his leadership, just how much better he is getting towards the third year of his career. You can see right there at camp, he was 30 of 43. 30 of 43. And most of those incompletions came when he was in the red zone. And you know how hard it is to score in the red zone. So it just shows how much Drake Maye is progressing into an amazing quarterback. And it also helps to have a great wide receiver right on the outside of him. But Drake Maye is really coming into his own. And he's making a great impression to his new wide receiver, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown said the talent speaks for itself. He can make any throw. But I think what's more impressive to me is that he knows what he's doing. To be that young and to understand the defense, to understand every little check, the hots, the blitz, all those things. So young and so fast, it's very impressive. And so I really admire that. He knows what he's talking about. He demands everybody else to know as well. He's a true leader. He's a true leader of men, and it's crazy to see at a young age he's a true leader of men. I don't know if that's a shot at Jalen Hurts, but I hope it is because Drake Maye is better than that quarterback out in Philly. I want to know from you guys. Name it down below. Fill in the blank. Drake Maye is a top blank QB in the NFL. I'm going to go with 6 right now, but once we get to the season, that could jump right up to number 5. Let me know down in the comments section. Going back to a loser, and he's not a loser, but he hasn't been practicing, so we kind of have to put him as a loser, and that's Morgan Moses. And I'll reiterate that none of these guys are losers on the field because I think they just haven't been on the field. And Morgan Moses hasn't been practicing. He had a little injury in OTAs last week, and Mike Vrabel and the coaching staff thought it was best to just kind of hold him out of minicamp because he's a veteran. He's like 35 years old. He doesn't need to be getting ready for the season. He's already done this so many years before. And Alex Barth had this, that Morgan Moses was back at practice, so he was at the facility, which is a very good thing. Still showing up, still getting together with all his teammates, but not in uniform. First time we've seen him in minicamp. And then Mike Vrabel talked about it, and he said his absence just basically management related. Says the veteran will have a plan this offseason like any other player. So it's nothing to kind of have a concern about. I don't think this is a big deal. He's a vet. He's not showing up. But what is concerning is, well, guess what? He got hurt in OTAs, and that's where I'm kind of like, okay, well, we'll have to wait and see. It's a little concerning, but nonetheless. The last 2 winners, we'll go over these pretty quickly. And the first one, shout out to producer Ethan for a little reveal action here. Caleb Lomu is a winner. That kind of just bounces off of the loser being Morgan Moses. Because when Moses is out, well, Caleb Lomu is taking absolute advantage because he gets all the reps now. He is the backup left or backup right tackle. And you could see this from Mark Daniels that he said, hey, guess what? Caleb Lomu once again started at right tackle with Moses out. Also played a little bit of left tackle for second team. So it's clear that he is going to be the swing tackle for the Patriots. When someone goes down or someone needs a break, Caleb Lomu steps right in. And that's what you want to see out of your first-round draft pick. And Caleb Lomu talked about going from left tackle to right tackle. And he said it's definitely taking some getting used to just playing left all of college. It's a thing where you just got to get used to it. The first practice was a little weird, but now I feel very comfortable at right tackle, and it feels natural. And I think with just how talented he is and what you see how they're kind of doing this with Morgan Moses, I truly think that Lomu was going to play a ton in 2026. I don't know how much Morgan Moses is going to play in next season, but I know he's the starter, but I know that they're going to give him some rest a lot, and I know Caleb Lomu is going to step in. They actually played him at left guard at some point, so if Elijah Vera Tucker goes down, then maybe Lomu will step in. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm really excited for Lomu going forward. And another winner, I almost spoiled it for you guys because his name's Elijah. But Elijah Ponder is an absolute winner. And later today, I'm going to do a little spotlight on Elijah Ponder because I'm a huge fan of the Cal Poly guy. And he has been absolutely dominant on the field. He's been getting reps and taking advantage. Just like Lomu took advantage when Morgan Moses is out, Ponder has been taking advantage with Harold Landry and Gabe Jacas not being at practice because Landry, we know he's coming off that knee injury. But Mark Daniels, he said, he's getting a lot of praise, getting some starter reps in place of Harold Landry alongside with Draymond Jones. And Mike Smith, the edge rusher coach, he had some really nice things to say about Elijah Ponder. He said, I got high expectations for him. Very. All these guys have done great all spring, but Ponder really, really looks comfortable out there. It has really slowed down for him. And again, we're in June 9th or 10th, but I got high expectations for him. He's always going to fight. He's not going to say much. He's very intelligent. When you're very intelligent like that, he's big. He's as athletic. He's done some kind of freaky stuff. The spring around the edge, the top of his rush, you're like, oh, wow, that's really nice to see. And you could see, like, I kept saying, Ponder, 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 because right now, he is third on the depth chart. Right now, he's second because Harold Landry's out. Obviously, I expect him to be ready for the season, but Draymond Jones, Elijah Ponder is an up-and-comer, man, and he could easily step into that role. And when you look at what he did last year, it's not going to nothing's going to pop out for you. But those 4 sacks that you could see on your screen, those all came after the trade deadline. That was all the final 6 weeks of the season when he started to get those reps. 4 tackles for loss, 14 tackles. This is all mostly came after Harold Landry got that injury. Elijah Ponder stepped in, and he really showed out. So I think going into his second year, the development that he's doing and the potential that he has shown, he could really step in to a rotational role, and I'm really excited to see him going forward. If you're confident in the Patriots edge room, if you're confident, because I'm a little bit confident, I still think we should add another player, but I'm very, very confident in Elijah Ponder. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon, ladies and gentlemen. Like the video. And also, while you're down there, go ahead and hit that sub button. Look, 6 weeks. Hopefully, it goes by quick. Hopefully, July 25th comes around very quickly. But once we get to that date, once we get to training camp, football will officially be back, and we'll be here to break it all down for you. So that's why you hit that sub button. And as always, let's go Pats.